Hello, welcome everyone, and especially welcome to everyone who is watching this live from Latvia. My name is Marloes, and today we will give a webinar for all the prospective students who would like to learn more about Saxion, our university, and also about the programs that we teach completely in English. This webinar will take about 30 minutes, and I will give this webinar together with two of my Latvian students. I will just show you something that we will teach or that we will tell you during this presentation. Well, first of all, I will give you some general information about the university. Then I will also share some practical information about, for example, the tuition fee, how to apply, etc. Then I will give the floor to Katrina and Artjoms. I hope I pronounced these names very correctly. They are students of International Business and Management Studies, and Artjoms is a student of Art and Technology. They are both in their first year, so they can really explain what they did in their first year and how they came up with the study here at Saxion. And of course, that might be nice for you too back home. They will give this presentation in the Latvian language. And at the end, I will tell you how the admission procedure works and how you might become a student at Saxion here. Well, first of all, something about our location, where you can find us. As you know, we are based in the Netherlands. I don't know if some of you have ever been to the Netherlands. We are a rather densely populated country. Even if you compare it to Latvia, at least this is what a lot of students tell me. I just looked at the internet to find out, like, okay, what is then really the difference? Well, if you look at the density, about 45 people live in Latvia on 1 square kilometer. And if you look in the Netherlands, it's 450 people per square kilometer. So imagine, once you come here to the Netherlands, one of the things that might be interesting is that you will see a lot of people. In total, we live here with 70 million people. Later on, when Katrina and Artjoms will tell you a bit more about other cultural differences that you will find between Latvia and the Netherlands. Looking at our country, you will find us in 3 different cities. They are all located in the eastern part of the Netherlands. They are the cities Apeldoorn, Deventer and Enschede. And in a way, it's a rather safe environment, and the cities are about 100 up to 150,000 people who live there. And because we're a small country, you can easily take the train, for example, to Amsterdam, our capital, which brings you there in 1.5 hours. Okay, then some pictures about the campus. The first one is a picture of a campus in Deventer. About 8,000 to 9,000 students study here. Most of them are Dutch students, though we have a very wide community of international students. Over here you will see the new wing of our campus in Deventer. We just built it last year and it's opened last year, December. Over here you will see the campus in Apeldoorn. In this very historical building located in the city center, we will give the program Hotel Management. And over here, the last city called Enschede. This is the main campus. About 14,000 students study here, and you will find also a good mix of international programs that we have here. And this is another building. This is the building of Art and Technology and Gaming and Textile Engineering and Management. We built this one a couple of years ago, and well, most of our creative students found and study here. Over here, a picture of one of the roof terraces. This is a picture, just a random picture of the canteen. We took this one early in the morning, so at that time, no students. But if you come there at this hour, loads of students will be there. This is something that you will find everywhere at Saxion. The facilities that we have are especially for you as a student to study, to work on your assignments and to do your homework, but maybe also to have a talk or to meet your classmates. We everywhere have Wi-Fi and internet connection. Well, here is an example of the library that we have. Just some random pictures. Over here, as said, we do have some creative studies like art and technology and gaming, and many of those students, they make use of these facilities too. Okay, something about the university itself. We are a public university, and what you will see in the Netherlands is that most of the universities are public universities. We are established in 1875, though nowadays we have about 24,000 students. As said, we have a wide international community, about 3,500 students, they come from abroad. And we have more than 70 different nationalities. The nice thing is, and this is what we always try to explain to international students, is that if you come to Saxion, it means that you will be part of an international classroom. So you won't study with Dutch students. You will study with students from everywhere within Europe, but even outside Europe. Something which is very important to know, the situation in the Netherlands, if you look at the higher education, we've got two types of universities. There are research universities and universities of applied sciences. It's very good and very important to understand the difference if you may choose for a university in Holland. If you choose for a research university, it focuses more on, it has an academic approach. It's very much theory-based and it's more scientific. If you go to a University of Applied Sciences, it has a more practical approach. We do focus on the theory, but also on your skills and your competences. One of the things which is important and which might be nice to hear is that the classrooms are very small, similar like what you are maybe used to at high school, up to 20 to 25 students. And besides lectures, you also do get assignments, group assignments, and even projects. And a project means that you have an assignment for one semester, which is 5 months, and you have to conduct a research together with 2 or 3 of your classmates. That means you do a research, you prepare a report, and you give a presentation. And also in year 3 and year 4, you will do an internship and a thesis. That means that you will gain some work experience. Well, over here you will find some examples, like if you do your internship, here we'll find some examples of companies where you can go to. We really try to give you a valuable work experience. So doing an internship doesn't mean that you have to bring coffee. It doesn't mean that you have to make photocopies. It really means that you work on a higher skilled level. Maybe my personal story, I was a student of Saxion a couple of years ago of international business. And I went for my internship to South Africa and I did my final thesis in Bucharest in Romania. It really shows, and this is what we strive for, is that everyone will also get a very international experience during their studies in the Netherlands. Well, over here you see a whole list, and maybe because you know already about Saxion, you already know what you would like to study, or you maybe already know what your interest is. I will not explain all the programs because then it will be too much detailed information. But if you go to our website, you can download a study guide or you can get more information. And later on, Katrina and Art-Jons will also tell a bit about their studies. Then something else, because if you come to the Netherlands and if you come to Saxion, we also would like you to have a good time in the Netherlands. That means to become a successful student, but it also means to feel at home in a new country and to spend your time in a very best way. First of all, what we do have are buddies. And a buddy may sound a bit strange, but a buddy is a person who will help you during your first year. Most of the time, we try to link you with a buddy from your country. A buddy is always a student from the 2nd, 3rd or 4th year. So that person knows the city very well, he knows our university very well, and he or she can help you with all kind of practical matters, like, okay, where to buy a bike, because in Holland you definitely need a bike to get from one place to the other. But also where to do your shoppings, or how to find a very good place to stay, or where are the good parties. So in a way, they can help you with all kind of things, which might be very important, especially in the beginning when you come here. Then what we also have are some host families here in the Netherlands. Those are Dutch families who would like to learn a bit more about your culture, and they would like also to bring you to places in the Netherlands which might be interesting. And furthermore, what we also do is we give excursions within the Netherlands to nice places, but also even outside the Netherlands. For example, what we do around Christmas is we bring all the international students to a nice Christmas market in Germany. And also, if you look at our website, you will find more about the sport facilities that we have and also the facilities that you may find in the cities where Saxion is based. Something else, and maybe you've discovered already, the tuition fee. So the fee that you have to pay on a yearly basis is 1,906 euros. This is the fee for all the students who are from the EU. But then you don't need to pay the whole amount at once. You also have the possibility to pay in installments. Installments means that you pay in 10 different periods. Something else, and I will try to explain this in a nutshell, because as a student from the European Union, you can apply for a loan or for a grant. First of all, what you see is a tuition fee loan. A tuition fee loan is a loan that everyone can get from the Dutch government. But okay, a loan always means that you have to pay it back. You will start to pay it back 3 years after finishing your studies. As some of you may know, is that you can also apply for a grant. However, it's very important to know that if you want to apply for a grant, you need to have a part-time job. And right now, you need to have a job of at least 14 hours a week. Honestly, I really think it's very important or very difficult to find a job directly in the beginning. And also, if you come to the Netherlands, especially when you start with a new program, please be aware that you focus on your studies. So my advice always to new students is, okay, it's possible to have a job besides your studies, but don't make it the high priority. Focus on your studies and maybe then you can earn some money. And if you're lucky, you find a job of 14 hours a week or more, and then you can apply for a grant. A grant is money that you don't have to pay back. It's a gift from the government, and in return, you need to work and you also need to get your degree in the end. You even can get an additional grant and you even can apply for an additional loan. On our website of saxion.edu, or later on, you can also send me an email to learn more about the loan and grant system in the Netherlands. Well, something also about the cost for living, because a lot of students who may think of study abroad, one of the key issues or one of the key things that they need to clarify is, okay, how much money do I need in order to live in the Netherlands and to study at Saxion? Well, what I did, I asked randomly some students from the European Union who live here in Enschede or in Deventer, like, okay, how much money do you need? Well, in fact, most of your money you will spend on your accommodation. It's about 300 up to 350 euros a month. It can be more, it can be less, but for this amount you should be able to rent a decent room. Meaning a room means that you have your own private room, but you will share your bathroom, kitchen with other students. And then there's always, of course, it depends on your own living standard how much money you will spend. But this is just an example and some suggestions how much money you will need. Okay, for now, I will just give the floor to Katrina and Artjoms. As said, they will give some information in the Latvian language, which makes it easier for you. And later on, after their talk, I will be back with more information about how to apply. Okay.
Sveiki visiem! Es esmu Katrīna.
Un es esmu Artjoms.
Šodien mēs jums drusciņ pastāstīsim par mūsu studijām, kā vispār notiek, un kā mēs mācāmies, patīk mums, nepatīk. Un jā, laikam es sākšu, vai tu sāksi?
Dai tu.
Es mācos IBMS kursā, latviski tas būs uzņēmēja darbības un starptautiskā biznesa studijas. Es mācos 1. gadu. Vispār man ļoti patīk, bet mācīties ir ļoti, ļoti grūti. Es atvainojos par manām kļūdām, jo nelietoju latviešu valodu jau ļoti ilgu laiku, tāpēc šodien mēs miksēsim drusciņu angļu valodu un latviešu valodu, tāpēc jā, es domāju, ka tas nebūs ļoti liela problēma. Jā, mācos 1. gadu. Mans kurs ir viens no lielākajiem universitātē. un mēs abi mācāmies Enschedē. Tur ir mūsu lielākais universitātes korpus, jums laikam rādīja slaidos. Es mācos main buildingā, tas ir lielākā vieta, kur vispār ir visi kursi, kuri ir saistīti ar biznesu, valodām un visām tādām lietām.
Un es mācos otrajā ēkā, tur ir tādas kreatīvas tehnoloģijas un visas pārējās lietas. Un studēju Art and Technology kursā, un nezinu, ko var pateikt par to. Tieši man tas ir ļoti interesanti. Visas šīs studijas ir saistītas ar kameram, ar filmēšanu un tādām lietām. Un man vispār nav problēmas ar tiem, kā pateikt, tehnoloģiem un īrēt kameras. Viss ir universitāte un nevajag neko pirkt. Un tas ir kā tāds ļoti liels plus.
Jā. Mūsu studijas ir angļu valodā. Es mācos vēl vienu ekstra valodu, spāņu valodu, bet mums ir iespēja izvēlēties vēl 3 valodas. Tā ir vācu valoda, franču vai daču valoda. Jā, bet es izvēlējos spāņu valodu. Mācīties, kā jau teicu, ir ļoti grūti, jo es domāju, ka visu nedēļu es pavadu universitātē, jo mums ir ļoti daudz kopīgo darbu, projektu un stundu un vispār. Jā, bet tomēr man tas ļoti patīk, jo katru dienu tu satiek jaunus cilvēkus, kuri ir no dažādām valstīm, un tas ir ļoti interesanti vispār paklausīties, kā viņi dzīvo, un tu iegūji to pieredzi, kuru tur neiegūtu nekad Latvijā, un tas ir ļoti interesanti, manuprāt. Es domāju, ka Arčumam ir arī tāda paša situācija viņa kursā. Varbūt vajag drusku pastāstīt par to, kā mēs dzīvojam. Mēs dzīvojam dažādās vietās. Es dzīvoju angļu valodā, tas būtu student house, studentu māja, kopmītne. Es dzīvoju ar 7 studentiem, 3 džeki un 4 meitenes. Mums ir kopīga virtuve un kopīga vannas istaba. Un katram ir savējā istaba. Istabas ir lielas, man ir 25 kvadrātmetri. Un jā, maksājas 350 eiro, kā jau bija slaidos, ka tā ir vidējā maksa. Ļoti tuvu universitātei, ļoti laba kvalitāte un vispār man ļoti patīk.
Mana gadījumā tas nav tāda studentu māja, tas ir kā kampus vai es nezinu taču kā
kopmītne.
pateikt. Kopmītne, jā. Bet tas nav tā kā Latvijā kopmītne. Tur ir tāds sava istaba un tu dzīvo viens pats. Un tev ir, protams, kā sava toalete un vanna. Tu tikai, šeit ir kitchen.
Virtuvi.
Virtuvi, jā.
Mēs teicam, ka būs nedaudz angļu valoda.
Okay. Un kas vēl? Tas ir pilsētas centra un ļoti, ļoti tuvi universitāti. Man taču nevajag velosipēds, ritenis. Un kas tur? 5 minūtes ar kājām un viss.
Es dzīvoju drusciņ tālāk, bet jā, 10 minūtes.
100 metru no manis.
Jā. Tā, varbūt jums vēl būs interesanti vispār, kā notiek visi procesi universitātē. Es nezinu, kā Arķumam, jo mēs mācāmies dažādās vietās. Kā viena pilsētā, bet mums ir
2 dažādas ēkas, un godīgi pateikšu, ka mūsu kursa ir ļoti daudz brīva laika. Bet šo laiku jums ir jāpavada mācoties patam. Un te nav kā skolā, tev ir jāiet skolā un kaut ko rakstīt. Tev ir jāiet kaut kur, kur tu gribi un filmē, ko tu gribi, bet ir kāda data, deadline, tas ir angliski, un tev ir jānodod projektu, un tur ir kaut kādas lekcijas, piemēram 2 reizes nedēļa, bet vispārējais laiks ir brīvs, un tu dari jebko, kas tu gribi. Kaut kā tā.
Manā kursā es domāju, ka tas ir mazliet dažādāk, jo mums ir kā pusi no laika mēs pavadām akademiskās stundās, kur mēs mācāmies mūsu priekšmetus, matemātiku, valodas. Un pusi laika mums ir praktiskais darbs. Mēs bieži darām visādus projektus, jo manas studijas ir saistītas ar biznesu. Un mēs darām projektus, mēs analizējam kompānijas, vispār starptautisko tirgu un viss, kas saistīts ar manu profesiju. Jā. Varbūt jums arī būtu interesanti, jo jūs tagad laikam domājat, ka mēs visu laiku mācāmies. Jā, darba nedēļā mēs visu laiku mācāmies, bet mums ir laiks tusiņiem. Tev ir laiks tusiņiem.
Man ir daudz laika tusiņiem.
Man nav tik daudz, bet man ir laiks tusiņiem, maziņš laiks. Un vispār tas ir ļoti interesanti, jo katram kursam ir savas studentu asociācijas, kuri organizē visādus tusiņus dažādos klubos, baros, pubos. Mums ir arī, kā teikt, tie dineri.
Jā, daudz
vakariņas,
dinners un
vakariņas, kur mēs varam satikties ar visādiem studentiem no dažādiem kursiem, parunāties, paspēlēt dažādas spēles un pēc tā iet tusēties. Jā. Un tev nevajag tērēt ļoti daudz naudas, jo universitāte par visu maksā, un tas ir ļoti forši, man liekas.
Mana gadījumā tas ir link, un viņi visu organizē, un visas šīs balītes, un invite visus.
Jā. Kā mēs vispār tikām šajā universitātē? Manā gadījumā vienu gadu atpakaļ Latvijā bija izstāde Rīgā, Reģisona viesnīcā, un tur bija visādas universitātes no vairākām valstīm, un es vienkārši aplūkoju visus variantus, kur es varu tikt, un atradu šo universitāti, šo kursu. Man ļoti patika, jo es zināju, ko es gribu mācīties, un man vajadzēja tikai atrast universitāti. Es atradu pārstāvjus no starptautiskā ofisa, un mēs sarakstījāmies, tad es atbraucu šeit, lai aplūkotu universitāti, un man viss patika, un es teicu, ka jā, es mācīšos šeit. Protams, ir visādi kursi, kā requirements. Lietas, kuras mācības un jūsu atzīmes no skolām, kuras ir nepieciešamas šeit. Par to es domāju, ka jums pastāstīs mūsu kolēģi pēc mūsu mazas prezentācijas. Bet jā, vispār tikt šeit ir ļoti viegli. Ja gribi, tu vari tikt šeit. It's easy going.
Ļoti nozīmīgs ir angļu valodas zināšanas. Bez angļu valodas, ko tu darīsi šeit bez angļu valodas?
Jo daudzi ļoti baidās, ka viņi atbrauks šeit un viņi vispār nevarēs komunicēt ar citiem cilvēkiem. Es jums teikšu, ka nevajag baidīties. Jo tagad mēs atbraucām šeit, mēs varam runāt krieviski, latviski, bet mēs runājam angliski, jo mums ir daudz vieglāk runāt angliski. Jo mēs jau tā pieradām pie šīs valodas, ka vispār tā ir mums kā dzimtā. Un mēs pavadījām šeit 8 mēnešus. Un es domāju, ka jau pēc 1. mēneša jums sajūta būs, ka jūs esat jau daļa no šīs kultūras. Tāpēc nebaidīties, valoda nav visnozīmīgākā lieta. Jā, tas ir svarīgi, bet visu var.
Tas ir mazliet smieklīgi, bet es tagad zinu angļu valodu daudz labāk nekā latviešu. Pēdējā reize, kad es runāju latviski, bija
gadu atpakaļ. Man 9 mēnešus atpakaļ.
Un tas nav ļoti easy. Ļoti viegli tagad runāt latviski ar jums.
Jā. Es domāju, ka varbūt jums būs kādi jautājumi, jūs varat mums atrakstīt, jo pēc šīs prezentācijas jums būs mūsu kontakti, mūsu Facebook, mūsu maili, un jūs varēsiet mums ļoti viegli rakstīt. Mēs atbildēsim uz visiem jautājumiem un palīdzēsim atbraukt, satiksim un visu. Tāpēc es jums ļoti, ļoti rekomendēju braukt šajā vietā, jo es nezinu tādu pieredzi, kuru jūs iegūsiet šeit. Es nezinu, kur vēl var iegūt. Jo es pavadīju šeit 9 mēnešus un jau jūtos, ka tā ir mana māja. un es negribu braukt atpakaļ. Nē, protams, mīlu Latviju, bet jā, šī universitāte ir ļoti laba un attieksme pret studentiem un vispār ļoti, ļoti labi.
Un vispār attieksme starp cilvēkiem ir mazliet citādāka. Cilvēki attieksme pret tevi normāli un nav nekādas diskriminācijas un viņiem ir vienalga, no kurieni tu esi. No Latvijas, no Afrikas, no Amerikas, vispār vienalga.
Viņiem ir tāda kultūra.
Jā.
Un laikam pēdējā lieta, ko es gribētu teikt, kāpēc tieši šajā universitātē. Šī universitāte dos jums lielu iespēju praksei, jo 4. kursā visiem būs prakse, un mūsu universitāte strādā ar ļoti daudzām kompānijām. Jā, viņi bija slaidos, tur Unilevers un ING Bank un visas citas kompānijas, tāpēc es jums ļoti rekomendēju braukt tieši šajā universitātē. Mācīties ir grūti, bet visas tās prioritātes, kuras jūs gūsiet pēc mācībām, ir ļoti, ļoti lielas.
Mācīties ir grūti tiem, kuri, protams, nezina angļu valodu, bet ja tu zini angļu valodu un saprot visu un ej uz skolu katru dienu, tas nebūs ļoti grūti, piemēram, mana kursa. Un es arī varu pateikt, ka šeit ir mazliet citādā sistēma nekā Latvijas universitātes, un šeit ir ļoti daudz praktikas. Man ir daudzāk praktikas nekā teorijas, un mēs visu laiku kaut ko darījām, nekā rakstījām. Un, no 4 eksāmeniem man ir tikai viens teorētiskais eksāmens, visi pārējie ir praktikas, un ir ļoti daudz projektu, kurus es varēšu izmantot savā portfolio un atrast darbu.
Man ir drusciņ citādāk, jo man tās kurs, kur mēs...
no kursa.
Jā. Es domāju, ka mēs jums pastāstījām dažas lietas, tāpēc dosim vārdu mūsu kolēģei.
Okay, thank you, Katrina, and thank you, Artjoms. Well, I hope this was very useful for you, especially I think, well, to learn a bit from one of our current students. First of all, well, I just want to continue to tell you a bit about the application procedure here at Saxion. First of all, if you apply to one of our programs, just go to the right slide, you maybe want to know maybe what are the entry requirements. Well, first of all, we will look at the degree from your high school. I just wrote down the name of the degree in the Latvian language, so that may sound familiar to you. What we also do is we will look at your grade for English at your high school. If you passed your level of English at your high school, then you're eligible to start. Otherwise, you need to prove it with an IELTS or TOEFL test. But for 99% of the students, they meet the requirements based on their exam at their high school. If you look on the website saxion.edu/entry requirements, you will see more information about the kind of documents that we need. There were 3 steps in the application process. First of all, you can first watch on our website to see, okay, what is the program of your interest? Or at least you can also be in touch with me or with some of our representatives in Latvia in order to find out what is the best fit for you. Then, if you want to apply, you first apply through a website. It's called the website studylink.nl. The universities in the Netherlands, they use the same website. After that, you get a username and password in order to upload your documents in our Saxion portal. We call this portal SIS. I will just show you how the portal looks like. This might be a bit strange for the first time, but therefore, if you want to have assistance, please let me know or go to one of our agents in Riga. But the first step is, if you want to upload your documents, this is a starting page. And you go to Overview of Applications, and if you press there, then they will ask you to upload documents. Well, the kind of documents that we need from you is, for example, it sounds maybe a bit strange, but we need to have a picture from you. We need this in order to issue a student card. from the moment that you start here at Saxion. Of course, we need a copy of your ID or of your passport, and we need to have a grade list and your degree, so your diploma from your high school. And as it's all in the Latvian language, we also ask you to make an official translation into English. Then for some of the bachelor programs, we do have additional requirements. This is especially for the program of hotel management, art and technology, and game creation and producing. For the last two, we do have an intake, and you need to come up with an online portfolio. We just want to make sure that you are a creative student. And also what's important to upload is your motivation letter and your CV. If you have any questions about this, because I go a little bit fast with all the information, please be in touch with me later on. Then this is how the portal looks. There are 7 steps in uploading all your documents. It's very important to do the last step, which is step 7, to submit your application. As soon as you submit your application, my colleagues from the student registration, they are able to process your application. There is a manual to explain you step by step the process in our application, and you can find it online on the website of Saxion/application manual. The last thing that I would like to stress out to all of you, if you want to have first of all more information about Saxion, or maybe you want to be in touch with Katrina or Artjoms, or maybe even some other Latvian students from other programs, please feel free to do so. Over here you will find our email addresses. I also spoke with Katrina and Artjoms. You can find them on Facebook, me as well. So feel free to add us and to ask your questions. And one last thing is that once you go to the site where you can find our webinar, you will find a feedback form. And we always would like to hear from you if it was useful information or if there are some things that you missed during this presentation. One last thing, I think you still may deal with the question, am I able to study abroad, yes or not? I think in the end, it's very important to speak with students who made that step. And maybe in your own environment, or maybe students from your high school, they made that step a couple of years ago. I think it's very useful to speak with them, talk with them, and hear about their experiences. Ask them what they like, also ask them what they don't like. Ask them about the motives, why they went abroad. And I think in the end, you have a lot of doubts, and I think that's very normal, because you make a very big step ahead. You make a very important decision for your future. But in the end, believe in yourself, because I really think we have many international students, and why will you not be the next student at Saxion? So if you have doubts, be in touch with us. Maybe we can help you with the right answers, and we can assist you in any matter. For now, thank you so much for watching, and hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye.